National very important person. President and Commander-in-Chief, His Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Secretary of National Defense, Honorable Delfine Grillo Lorenzana. Military very important VIPs. Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Andres C. Centino Armed Forces of the Philippines. Commanding General Philippine Army, General Romeo S. Browner Jr. Armed Forces of the Philippines. Commander Army Service Community, Major General Fernando B. Felipe, Philippine Army. Group Commander 9th Region Community Defense Group, Colonel Patricio S. Tomales Infantry General Senior Corps, Philippine Army. Commission Officer 92nd Zamboanga del Norte Community Defense Center, Major Eladio B. Lumontas Civil Engineering, Philippine Army. President and Jermisio System, Dr. Dilinda R. Lapot. NSTP Director, Dr. Richard G. Daimel. NSTP Unit Head, Dr. Noel C. Lopisilo. Commandant Jermisio Army-Rotc Unit, Major Eladio B. Lumontas Civil Engineering, Philippine Army. Assistant Commandant, Second Lieutenant Nicanor B. Obnimaga, Reserve Philippine Army. Chief Clerk, Corporal Roderick C. Acoimo Infantry, Reserve Philippine Army. Tactical Officer, Captain Cesar C. Bala, Reserve Philippine Army. Second Lieutenant Joey Peter M. Villaros, Reserve Philippine Army. Senior Tactical National Commission Officer, Reservist, Admin National Commission Officer, Sergeant General R. Lapot, Reserve Philippine Army. National Commission Officer, Reservist, Private First Class John E. Maglasang, Infantry, Philippine Army. Staff Sergeant Gerald Rich H. Soto, Reserve Philippine Army. Staff Sergeant Michael Rey Alvin Ace Borreros, Reserve Philippine Army. Sergeant Nancy A. Aranines, Reserve Philippine Army. Sergeant Minard O. Kumisila, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Rodel G. Patangan, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Rinchi A. De La Rosa, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Charlene A. Tagapan, Reserve Philippine Army. Graduate Military Assistant or GMA, Private Adams N. Sumalpong, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Nelo B. Lagradilla, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Jefferson Paglinawan, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Rico Jack G. Tawataw, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Glenn Mar G. Ulinan, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Shahara May M. Halin, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Gisrel M. Pascolado, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Vincent Jubilee G. Cadano, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Ri R. Dayaw, Reserve Philippine Army. Private John Ri P. Paladares, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Joven Ray E. Sakal, Reserve Philippine Army. Private John Fred C. Klinka, Reserve Philippine Army. Private John Paul P. Yorong, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Michelle B. Andicoy, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Vance Alistair L. Pagasian, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Mark S. Lagamon, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Grisel Fit D. Carino, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Glyza Claire C. Canoog, Reserve Philippine Army. Pri- Private Jessalyn E. Ilopri, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Mabel B. Singkay, Reserve Philippine Army. Brigade Corps Commander Cadet Colonel G. P. Montedramus, ROTC First Class. Executive Officer or Disciplinary Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Roderick L. Cadorna, ROTC First Class. Brigade S1 or Adjutant Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Blesty Manlupig, ROTC First Class. Brigade Esto or Intelligence Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ronel B. Bailon, ROTC First Class. Brigade S3 or Operation Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ramil P. Samson, ROTC First Class. Risk Brigade S4 or Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Shelomi P. Azores, ROTC First Class. Brigade S7 or Liaison Officer Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jamaica S. Lagudas, ROTC First Class. 1st Battalion Commander Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jomari T. Osaville, ROTC First Class. 2nd Battalion Commander Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Gifford C. Perigura, ROTC First Class. 1st Battalion Executive Officer or Disciplinary Officer Cadet Lieutenant Cadet Cadet Major John Mark T. Cleminia, ROTC First Class. Battalion S1 or Adjutant Cadet Major Kathleen Rose E. Apaw, ROTC First Class. Battalion S2 or Air Intelligence Cadet Major Jericho T. Osabil, ROTC First Class. Battalion S3 or Operation Cadet Major Jason A. Hamarolin, ROTC First Class. Battalion S4 or Logistic Cadet Major Maria Alona Jane B. Alfon, ROTC First Class. Battalion S7 or Liaison Cadet Major Chenley R. Salva, ROTC First Class. 2nd Battalion Executive Officer or Disciplinary Cadet Major Brian B. Banuelos, ROTC First Class. Battalion S1 or Adjutant Cadet Major Rubilin B. Magnawong, ROTC First Class. Battalion S2 or Intelligence of Cadet Major Hansel Dobrado, ROTC First Class. Battalion S3 or Operation Cadet Major Rimar Olak Lakay, ROTC First Class. Battalion S4 or Logistic Cadet Major Mary Joy C. Maghinay, ROTC First Class. Battalion S7 or Liaison Cadet Major Ruila Bernadette B. Kinlog, ROTC First Class. Cadet, Cadet Major Mary Chris E. Lidama, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Aaron G. Kalasang, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Stephen J. F. Tacliad, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Jumbinal P. Katilok, ROTC First Class. Cadet, Cadet Major Christian G. Sardin, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Aryan F. N. Palangan, ROTC First Class. Cadet, Cadet Major Bibi Janela A. Cañete, ROTC First Class. Cadet, Cadet Major Gino O. Carbonella, ROTC First Class. Cadet, Cadet Major Kent O. Dampayla, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Remark S. Anyo, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Britney E. Agit, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Rickman B. Cabanag, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Mark Jean L. Francisco Prociso First Class. Cadet Captain Lester B. D. Ikaw, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Richard S. Zamoras, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Joseph B. Meral, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Erwin T. Palomares, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Aurelio L. Flores Jr., ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Kent Roy L. F. Maghanoy, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Cadet Captain Rowell Vincent E. Sumanduran. Cadet Captain Jefferson N. Makiling, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Bliss Jason S. Iting, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain May Angel S. Conato, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Rimar B. Dimos, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain John Kenneth B. Deserdo, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Jonathan D. Gumonad, ROTC Jonathan D. Gumanad, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Kevin Delicano, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Lindsay Kyle S. Abapo, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Lavelle Jane T. Mangwisay, ROTC Second Class. Military professionalism. Men who adopt the profession of arms submit their own free will to the law of perpetual constraints of their own accord. They reject the right to live where they choose, to see what they think, to dress as they like. From the moment they became soldiers, it needs but an order to settle them in this place, to move them that, to separate them from their families and dislocate their normal lives. On the word of command, they must march, run, endure bad weather, and go out without sleep and food, and be isolated in some distant post. Work until they drop. They have seized the master of their own feet. Drop on their tracks, their ashes shall be scattered in the four winds. That is all part of parcel of their job. Pledge of loyalty. If you work for a man, in heaven's name, work for him, speak well of him, and stand by institution that he represents. If you must grow, condemn, and eternally find fault, why not resign your position? And when in the outside, dumb to your heart's content, but as long as you are part of this institution, do not condemn it. If you do, the first high wind it comes along will blow you away. And probably, and you never know why. Military courtesy, an act of politeness, civility, and respect that a personnel in the military organization occurred to one another. Military discipline. It is a state of order and obedience existing within a command. Military leadership. It is a process of influencing men such a manner as, as to accomplish the mission. Military secrecy. What you see, what you hear when you live with her. Salute is the highest form of courtesy. 11 general orders. 1. To take charge of this post and all government property in view. Number 2. To walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on alert and observing everything that takes place within inside hearing. 3. To report all violation of orders and I'm instructed to enforce. 4. To repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. 5. To quit my post only when properly relieved. 6. To receive, obey, and pass on the sentinel who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer of the day, and non-commissioned officer of the guard only. 7. To talk no one except in line of duty. 8. To give the alarm in case of fire or or order. 9. To call the commander of guard in any case not covered by instruction. 10. To salute all officers, colors, and standards not case. 11. To be especially watchful at night and during the time of challenging, to challenge of all persons on or near my post, and allow no one to pass without proper authority.